welcome to episode 46 of the Collecting Confidant with your host GunstarHero. And I'm back this week with a trio of puzzle adventure games. That's this week's theme. But one quick thing, a minor change I'm going to make to the channel going forward is for accessibility. I'm actually going to be dividing these videos into 3 parts in addition to releasing the full video as well. So if you're only looking to hear about a specific title, this will actually benefit you going forward in the future. So moving on, the first game on our docket today is one that I really had a blast with. This is known as OneShot World Machine Edition, which is getting a physical release for the PS4 and Switch only via limited run games. But of course, you can play this also digitally on the Xbox One and the PC from where it originally was released. So this game is a 2D point-and-click adventure puzzle game in the spirit of old-school Sierra Online games like Leisure Suit Larry or LucasArts games like Maniac Mansion and Tales from Monkey Island. But the cool thing about this game is that it also has a meta-narrative feature in the sense that it's a game within a game within a game and is very self-aware and breaks the fourth wall consistently. So let's set this up very quickly. You play as this young child. We don't really know if it's a boy or girl named Nico, who wakes up in a mysterious world and encounters this computer that itself contains its own self-contained world. So by interacting with this computer, you learn that you are the savior and have to restore the lost son to this barren landscape by going on a pilgrimage to a tower and replacing the sun. So throughout the course of your journey, you'll be guiding this child, interacting with the environment like in any point-and-click game. So you'll be looking for clues, talking to NPCs, gathering objects, and then combining them and using them to solve puzzles and solve the mystery of this landscape. Now, the key thing is that Nico's not only the main character, but you are also a main character in this game as you guide and interact with Nico as Nico looks for answers and seeks your assistance throughout the journey. And this is highlighted, as I said, by the fact that this is a game within a game, so at any point you can minimize the game window to make it picture-in-picture and bring up your virtual desktop in the background, which will contain file folders containing various elements like different wallpapers that you can unlock throughout your journey, different themes for the window colors, different songs you can collect for your jukebox, and then also game files that are integral to the experience. So not only will you be able to unlock friend files to get bios on the characters that you encounter throughout your journey, but different actual assets. And this is key to moving forward through the game because at certain points you'll be required to manipulate the files on your virtual desktop to solve the puzzles in the game. So you're kind of going back and forth between the meta narrative outside of the game world and inside the game work, which I think is truly fascinating. It reminds me a lot of one of the games I talked about last week, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, which itself was very self-aware, broke the fourth wall, and often required you to manipulate game assets. So this is very similar, albeit not quite as devastating on the psychological horror bent as Doki Doki, but this game itself has its own tension. It has a very bittersweet mood to it, very emotional, and I found it very gripping, and I just couldn't put my controller down. Even though it's a fairly short game, I saw it all the way through to its true end. I will give you a hint there as well. There's a true ending to this game, and really just left me feeling a lot of bittersweet mixed emotions that I have to recommend this game, even though I will tell you from the outset that it's a point-and-click adventure, but there's no combat in this, no bosses. This is strictly about character and world building, so you have to approach the game from that angle. But again, as I said, the meta-narrative aspects of the game within the game within the game add some really unique factors to the experience that really make it engrossing, albeit I played this game and completed it on the console version. The game originally came out on the PC back in 2016, and I'll get more into the history and development in a second. I did watch some footage of this being played on Steam, and I am a bit jealous in the fact that, as I mentioned, you have a virtual desktop on the console version where you can go into file folders and manipulate assets. on the PC version, the game actually integrates with your own desktop and your own documents folder, making it that much more immersive. So even if you decide to get the console version and play that, I would highly recommend checking out the PC version because it's even more mind-blowing in that regard. So I wanted to get into the very unique history and development of this game because it's kind of fascinating. So we're going all the way back to June of 2014 when this game originally was released as freeware on PC and was co-developed by two ladies known as Eliza Vasquez and Night Margin. This game was developed as part of a game jam for RPG Maker in a month while the two ladies were still in school. So it was kind of a hectic development period, was developed very quickly and released for free. The original game, as per the title OneShot, was unplayable after you finished it completely. Once you finished the game, you couldn't play it again. But because it was getting such good feedback and response, they eventually wanted to make this a commercial release on Steam, which would come out later in December of 2016. So they decided to dispense with the whole idea of the game being unplayable after the first attempt. And instead, in what you know now as OneShot, the one-shot factor comes in the fact that everything you do in the game is permanent and there's only one save file and you can't do save juggling. And once you finish the game, that's it. You can't re-enter it. You just have to start all over again. So they went, redeveloped the game, added a bit more flavor to it, and even added a friend named as Michael Shirt who came in when the game was about 80% complete to do some Q&A and do a bunch of work on some of the additional content that wasn't in the original freeware release. So this game came out, got some universal acclaim, really great reviews on Steam, was nominated for the 2017 Golden Joystick Award, and then eventually in 2022 got console ports over to the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. So this game was kind of magical, to be honest. It had me enthralled. I could not put it down and really just kind of tossed my emotions all over the place, but it was bittersweet, really satisfying in terms of the true ending that I found, and I recommend this highly. And if you do want to get this physically on either the PS4 or the Switch, you can do so via limitedrungames.com. It's in two versions. There's a standard and a collector's version. The standard version goes for $34.99 US, whereas the collector's version goes for $84.99 US, and it's going to include a big box, a CD soundtrack, an acrylic lamp, and a few other collectibles. So the deadline for this one is Sunday, May the 14th at the standard limited run deadline of 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you keep this one on your list because it's definitely worth your time. Stay tuned for part 2 where we're going to be coming back with another puzzle adventure game, something a bit lighter and a bit more fun, a remake of something from the PS2 generation that I have so much nostalgia for. I can't wait to talk about this one. Stay tuned.